G'day mate, welcome back to Factorio with me, JD. The mod I've actually chosen to look at today is called Advanced Furnaces. Now, there's a couple of things we're going to go through with this one, so we're going to start the tech tree. It's red and green size to unlock the very first furnace, which is a little bit disappointing because electric furnaces you haven't really unlocked at this stage, but we'll just leave that there. A normal electric furnace or a steel furnace has a crafting speed of 2. These actually have a crafting speed of 50. So they cost 25 electric furnaces and they craft at the same speed as 25 electric furnaces. Now, if you've ever built a mega base or a giga base, you'll know for a fact that the size of your smelting is normally the same size or even larger than the actual size of all your assemblies. So this is probably a really, really good compromise. The fact that you can vastly minimize your smelting block and therefore save yourself a bunch of UPS and materials and hopefully build a bigger and better base by just replacing the furnaces themselves. Now, that's just the furnace. From there, we upgrade to a second type of furnace, which now has a crafting speed of 100. It's twice as fast again. Again, it uses a lot of materials. It's actually a really, really expensive item to make. Research is pretty cheap. It also unlocks a brand new belt. So the brand new belt is a Transport Belt Pro 2, which is twice the speed of a blue belt. Really, really, really fast. Also comes with loaders. This mod actually does implement their own version of loaders. They look pretty good. They work a lot better than the standard Factorio loaders. So we'll say that much, and we'll probably leave just the loader whole argument right there. From there, we also get the next level of furnace. Now, this is when things start getting a little bit insane. This has twice the crafting speed of the original furnace, and also unlocks another brand new belt, moving 135 items per second, which is the speed of 3 blue belts. This is really, really fast belts. From there, we've got 2 more furnaces. We've got a level 4 furnace and a level 5 furnace. These things are really, really fast, but they do come with a few catches. So the second thing I want to show off is the actual mod options. There is, because of the way the furnaces work, they work more like an assembly machine than an actual furnace. You actually have to set a recipe on them. So there is an option here for stove recipes ×2. Which you will need to turn on if you're going to use the level 4 and level 5 furnaces, because they actually cap out. There is only so many. I believe it's a limitation of the Factorio code. There's only so many items you can bring into a structure and potentially push out of a structure at the same time. By turning this on, you can then bring in twice the amount of materials because there's only so many crafts you can make per second. I believe that's more accurate. Or per tick. So by turning this on, it sort of bypasses that limit a little bit. But onto the actual furnaces themselves. So I have your standard electric furnace right here. And eventually, oh, there we go. There was a plate that got shoved out the other side. Because I've actually changed this, it actually requires 2 iron ore to be spat out as 2 iron plates. So it's running at half the speed it normally would, but it's putting out twice as much. So it's no real change. This is the very first upgraded furnace. As you can see, we're producing a full yellow belt out. In fact, we're actually producing a little bit more than that because of the change with the now doing twice the materials in a craft. It's a little bit more than a yellow belt, but not by much. If I cut that belt, you can see it slowly backs up eventually, but it takes a really long time to. This is our level 2 furnace. As you can see, we're definitely on a red belt and a little bit. I found a straight red belt. As you can see, it's going to back up. It's going to back up gradually over time. It's not quite perfect. So it's a little bit more than a red belt output. Twice the speed again is either 2 red belts, or a blue and a yellow, which is what I had prior. As you can see, same story. It's just a little bit more. If I pop that on the end, you can see that it slowly goes down. It's basically 2 red belts worth. By the time we get up to our level 4 furnace, I have a blue belt, and a red belt worth of output. And as you can see, that's pretty much leveled off. It's perfectly happy. Twice the speed again should take us up to like, what, 5 blue belts? But as you can see, total items finished between this one, are identical. This guy is not actually running any faster than this. Even though my iron ore is obviously stunted on the way in, it's not short of any items. This one sort of reached the fastest it could possibly craft at a level 4 before going to level 5. Now, in saying that, when it comes over to steel, because there is a recipe, let's throw one of these guys down, we actually have to set the recipes in here. So you can do steel from iron plate, or you can go straight to steel plate straight from iron ore. So it's the exact same cost. It just saves you a craft. And this is where these things start to shine. So as you can see, I've got one here taking in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blue belts worth of iron ore and giving me a red belt. It's like a 1 lane of red and one lane of yellow output. That's probably the best way I can describe it. So it's probably about like 20 items per second, roughly. But then we have the extreme case over here, which is a level 5, which is taking in 6 lanes here with another 5 lanes here. So what's that? 11 lanes total? Yep, 11 lanes of ore in, and we're pumping out a blue belt with half a yellow belt worth of steel left over. Again, it's not quite, they're not quite fully backed up lanes, but they're pretty close. Finally, we come over to our different lanes of belts. So as you can see, I've got all yellow belts feeding in this side. We know 1 yellow belt equals 1 yellow belt. 2... Stop moving me around. 2 yellow belts equals a red belt. 3 yellow belts equals a blue. Down here, we're down to 6 yellow belts equals one of these, I don't know, red-ish belts. And then finally, down here, we have 9 yellow belts into 1 green belt. That's a lot of material per second. It's so fast it actually looks like it's absolutely stopped on the belt. That's pretty insane. I believe the next belt up from that, they look like they go backwards. Anyway, that's where we're going to leave this particular mod. As always, links to the mod are down in the description. Look, I like this mod. I like the fact that, you know, it is a little bit insane. It's really going to reduce the base. As said, changing that setting to stove recipes ×2 seems to really have improved the way the mod handles things. The catch is it's going to ruin any old, well, not ruin, it's going to change any of your old smelting setups somewhat drastically. Oh, on top of that, module slots. So your first furnace maxed out at 2 module slots. The first one for the mod also has 2, but then we go up to 3, 4, 5, and 6 module slots. Now, up at this end, speed modules won't help you at all, but productivity modules will certainly make one massive difference. As you can see, like, you know, we actually hit the, I can't point at it, we hit the maximum limit on your negative to crafting time, but, you know, that's what, 60% extra productivity out of 1 single smelter. That's really going to add up. On top of that, add some beacons around the site, outside. That's going to be an impressive amount of smelting. So yeah, you could probably like change over several whole stacks of smelting blocks over. Can we? Oh, hang on. Oh, well, at least that gives you a reason to go. So you can't prod mod straight steel from iron. So there is still a point to go iron ore to iron plate onto steel. Maybe that'll get changed in the mod update. Maybe when I post the video, it'll get fixed in the next update. Anyway, that is it for this mod. Thank you guys so much for watching. Good news, the Rocket Power Mega Base will be returning next week. And unfortunately, I'm probably not going to install this mod because I want to keep things as vanilla as possible. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, link to the mods down in the description below. Alright, see you in the next one. Bye.